All right, kids, it's time to let you know what I know about the Diablo Immortal update. This is different than the information that I've been sharing with you from patch notes, from data mines, from sources in China. These are my sources from my book that I got that I know are legit. Now, unfortunately, I was supposed to have footage to share this with you, but nothing came my way. So what I'm going to be doing with you in this video is sharing with you the details that I have written down right here, verbally, and I will follow this up as Blizzard posts their patch notes. I will then go over those patch notes with you with kind of the visuals that they have along the way and further share my knowledge of what's coming in this update. And there are some cool things coming in this update. Everything that I'm sharing with you is going to be a little bit out of order, but it does not matter. Sit back, relax. It's storytelling time. First things first, we have a new dungeon coming. It's the Tristram Cathedral. I can't even say that, but this is going to be a dungeon that is going to have multiple layers. It's something that's being taken from Diablo 4. I was not a big player of Diablo 4, but apparently this is a dungeon inside of Diablo 4. As you complete a level, you go down an elevator to another level. And the boss that you are going to be interacting with inside of this is one that many have missed and wanted to return to the game. We're talking about the Butcher. The Butcher will be the boss inside of this brand new dungeon, which I know is going to be exciting for many of you. I'm definitely going to enjoy battling the Butcher as well inside of Diablo Immortal. Next up, we have the solo warband activities. Warbands were basically put together for players inside of the game to play with their most favoritist of friends. But a lot of people inside of the game don't have their favorite friends playing, so they end up not being able to participate in warbands, or warbands become extremely weak and nothing can be done, gating players from doing different activities inside of the game that require a warband, like the defensive Krygar, the castle. But now you're going to be able to do a bunch of solo warband activities so that you can do them yourself, and you're not going to have to be with your warband or whatnot. I'm not exactly sure how it's going to look, but it's going to make it easier for you to participate in things that you couldn't before. All right, 8v8 PvP. This is coming in the form of the new format for Shadow Wars. I spoke about this last night when I found those that leaked information from China. If you missed that, you can go watch that video as well. It's on the main page. But they talked about how it's like a MOBA style. Figure it like this. You have a crystal on this side, a crystal on this side with one lane down the center. Whoever takes down their opponent's crystal first is the winner. So I'm starting here, I have to get the crystal over there. They're starting here, they have to get the crystal here. You have to fight through your opponents to take down their crystal. So there's a lot of battles happening in that solo passway. One lane, which I really do like. It's a lot more about just battling than about objectives, right? Battle, 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 chip away at a crystal, die, battle, battle, battle. It's going to be really, really cool. This is done because Shadows versus Immortals and all that, the Shadow Wars are all stale right now. It's stale having to do a 1v30 match. I mean, we've been doing it for over a year. I love that they switched it up. Now, I'm not sure if there's going to be, if the old way is still going to be there, or if it's being completely wiped. Not sure, but I'm happy to hear that this new MOBA style mode is coming. And I was told, or we heard, or whatever you want to call this, that there is going to be a fifth skill that you can equip for this. That fifth skill is going to be unique to a role that you play. This is not going to be a unique skill for your class. It's going to be a role skill. And the way that I think about this, and again, it's just how it was described to me, I envision something like Team Fortress or something like that, where you're like a mechanic or you're a medic or something like that, where you're going to have a specific skill that can aid in the battle in some way. And apparently each of the characters, and there are 8 of them, they can't share this skill. So that would tell me that there's going to be 8 different skills, and one person needs to use each of those 8 skills from their team, which is definitely a cool mechanic. You're going to need to learn how to utilize and maybe even build a team that's solid utilizing the skills that are available to use as well. So I really like that as well. And again, they're class focused, but not based on the class that you are, based on a skill or that's a bad explanation, based on something that it will do to benefit your team. All right, so that's what's changing there in PvP. We've talked about esports and how I had said that esports is probably never going to come to Diablo Immortal. That was told to me by Wyatt a year and a half ago, I think in one of the Immortal podcasts, actually. So that was not a plan of Blizzard. They didn't want Diablo Immortal in esports. And one of the reasons that I said it'll probably never make it there is because there's no spectate mode. There's no way to spectate these battles as a viewer. Or even there's no way to like mess with the cameras to get good modes, because in esports you need good modes. Well, it seems that they are bringing a spectate mode to the game. Some type of a mode where you're able to spectate the battles going on. So if my clan, my friends are not in the Shadow War, I could still spectate it. And there's going to be a wager feature as well. So you can in some way make small bets, probably for things like scrap materials, nothing that would be big. So that you could participate in the battles in a way of wagering. It seems like a fun mechanic, and it'll actually make people maybe invest a little bit more in what's going on for Shadows and Immortals. And if you are fighting for that, maybe there's a little bit more on the line for you, being that there's a lot of people watching. I absolutely love that, because that is a tool that's needed to take this to the competitive scene. So I was a fan of that. There's going to be another Immortal mode where they take on the top 3 Shadow clans. And if they defeat those top 3 Shadow clans, they'll receive some sort of buffs for what I would anticipate would be for to defend their Immortal reign. So in being a top Shadow clan, you now have the ability to get into another battle with the Immortals, which is kind of cool as well. I don't have as many details on that, to be honest with you, but that was something that was said that I think is going to be really cool, and I look forward to seeing what that looks like as well. We're going to see, we heard actually in the patch notes that I couldn't 100% confirm that there were going to be weekly goals instead of daily. I was told that we're going to be having Immortal goals that are going to be weekly, not daily. So I can't confirm that of the Shadows, but I would assume it would be the same for both. We heard about Cloak cosmetics. That is actually true. So if you become an Immortal, you will also receive, in addition to the armor, you'll receive a cloak. And the longer your reign, the bigger and better looking your cloak gets. So just like wings, I would assume, if you, and I've seen images of this, if you are 1 week of an Immortal, you'll have a little cloak. But if you're 6 weeks or 7 weeks, your cloak will be grand and beautiful, and it's something that you're going to want to keep. And if you keep your reign long enough, I believe you get to keep the cloak as well. It's not something that just goes away when you lose immortality. So you can kind of flaunt it, maybe even on some of your other cosmetics that you have, which I love. And we have 3 new gems coming to the game as well. A 1-star, a 2-star, and we also have a new 5-star gem coming to the game, which is cool. This is all supposed to be going live on the 21st of September, which is only it's a few days away from now, which is amazing. And this is called the Dark Weaver update. I want to also mention a few things that we heard about in data mines, in Chinese patch notes that were converted over, and in leaks. Some things that we heard about there were pets. I cannot confirm that we will be getting pets inside of the game. We heard about an assassin class that was leaked and found in data mines. I cannot confirm an assassin class. I would go as far as saying I would highly doubt an assassin class is coming anywhere before the next year. Having the Blood Knight just come, there would be no benefit by Blizzard to put in a new class. When you think about the Blood Knight and how it came to the game, we had the stained glass, we had like a month of teases trying to figure it out, all this build up, all this hype, got everyone to come back to the game and get excited. Why would they just pop an assassin in 3 days? No hype, no build up. In my opinion, that would be no payoff to them. It's not coming. There's no way that it's coming. We also heard about new set items that we're going to be able to give you new 2, 4, and 6 set properties. I didn't hear of anything like that. Again, these things could be coming. I'm not saying that I was told everything that's coming, but it's not something that I can confirm. That's how I'm going to kind of phrase this right here. It's not something that I can confirm right now. And if I'm trying to think of the other things that were said in those patch notes or in the leaks, but I think the biggest things here is that we're going to be getting that new dungeon. We're going to be getting the Butcher. We're going to be getting a new PvP for Immortals versus Shadows. I think it's a good update. There's going to be more. As soon as those patch notes drop, I'll be reading through them with you guys. That could literally be an hour from now. I don't know. But as soon as it's there, I'll have it out for you. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss out on it when it does drop. I'll see you there.